Well, it's been a while since I made one of these. Probably even longer since I've been on camera. So how is life? How is it? It's not great. That might be quite surprising to anyone who follows obsessive compulsive gaming. You know, whoops, my little gaming channel. I've tried to grow that over the last, let's see, it was 2020, nearly 6 years. I recently got monetized. Obviously I've not earned anything from it. And I knew it would take more than just getting monetized to, you know, solve it, to make an actual income from it. I just finished a couple of hours ago, a 26-hour stream, which maybe had one comment on it. So not great. Definitely not great. And I'm kind of I don't really know how to make it something. I don't really know what the answer to that is. And I think that's a very common thing with me nowadays. I really don't know how to do it. I don't really know how to do anything, to be honest. I'm still struggling big time, money-wise, with help, without help. I still somehow struggle. I'm in therapy, which I may have mentioned, might not have mentioned it on this channel. And therapy sounds great in principle. In fact, I had a conversation with my dad recently, and in the car, I can't remember the exact words he said, but he might have said something like, "And is it helping?" And I would like to say that it is, but in principle, it sounds like it would help. They have me writing things down, confronting certain aspects about myself that I knew all along. You know, that I'm impulsive, that my particular personality trait, whether it, I don't know what you would call it, bipolar, sociopath, maybe. Sherlock Holmes is a sociopath, so that doesn't bother me. What does bother me is there's this, whether it's deliberate or not, is this fight to want to take care of myself, which I think I don't. I really don't. So it will be an instance where I have enough money to get by, and I will impulsively, something will come up, if it's a video game, if it's a movie, if it's something, and I know I cannot afford to get that. I know that if I do spend a certain amount of money, I'm going to either need to ask for help or not have enough money to top up gas, electricity, buy food, that kind of thing. And it's almost like in my brain, I don't care, or I'm allergic to that kind of thing. This is something I go over every single week in therapy. This incessant need to be without the what we would call as adults essentials, and I don't know what it is. I can't. Sorry. I can't. I know exactly. Well, to be well. How deep do we want to go in this? I know what it is. It's I don't want to take care of myself because I'm hoping something bad will come of it. I know that's what it is. I know that's exactly probably what it is. And I've said this many times in, I don't do face-to-face therapy because I can't, because I don't go anywhere, because I can't travel. I may have mentioned that before. Yeah, that's another thing. I can't physically go anywhere because I can't get on public transport because I'm absolutely terrified of it, being on my own. That I got attacked. I can't remember. See, this is the thing with this channel. I can't remember what I talk about and what I don't talk about. Because there's so many things I like to keep, or I don't like to, but I have to keep secret because even in therapy, I don't go into everything because I'm always worried that they're going to turn around at the end of it and say, well, maybe you should spend a few days at this facility, and you know, I'm absolutely terrified of that. I've done that over the last 3 years. Usually around New Year, my birthday, something will happen or I'll do something. I was in Gartnavel for a couple of days last year before, maybe? I can't remember. The days just kind of, why's my hand there? The days just kind of meld into each other. I couldn't even tell you what day it is just now. No, Thursday. Friday. Thursday. I can't remember. I don't know. I think it comes back to the impulsiveness. I've always been very, very, very impulsive. You know, do it now, think of the consequences later, deal with it later. And it's got to a point where for years I could just spend what I wanted, look for help later, get the help, feel bad about asking for the help, feel bad about getting the help, and then still not changing. And I'm trying to do something about that. Yeah. It's not a good place to be in. Speaking of good places to be in, I'm obviously still living in the same place and I absolutely hate it. There's just no two ways around it. I mean, I could be very nasty about it and blame it on. I don't feel that I fit in this kind of area. But again, having always felt rather like an outsider. I just think I was born in the wrong place at the wrong time. For my particular personality traits. Obviously the creative side of me, I don't want to use the words unstable, but that's kind of what I've become. In a way, every single day is an absolute mind fuck of, you know, for example, today I went for a walk because I was incredibly frustrated and stressed. This is something I haven't really spoke about gaming on this channel. Basically, I pre-ordered a game and I literally spent the last week, when it enters my head, when I start to think about it, oh, that's coming out, fucking great, yes, I have something to look forward to this week. but it will literally consume every single minute of every single day, to the point where I'm trying to pass time in the day to get to the moment I have that pre-order quicker. So it's basically all I will think about. And I'll go to bed, and I'll deliberately go to bed late, or I'll deliberately go to bed when I feel tired, because I know that even if I'm thinking about it, I'll probably quickly pass out, fall asleep. And that's not a healthy way of thinking, but unfortunately that's the way I've always been. I was like that for Christmas. I was like that for show stuff. I still am like that for show stuff. I've got a show in a couple of months, which again has sold no tickets, and again will probably repeat the pattern that has happened before. As in, I'll put my all into it. No one will come and see it, or no one that matters will come and see it, and I'll feel really bad about it, and probably take it out on myself, as I always do, which is no one's fault. It's my decision. It's my compulsion. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yes, the game, the pre-order. So, because I spend so much time thinking about it, and I get excited for it, and I literally do. People don't believe me when I tell them, even in therapy with my therapist, when I tell them that that's the way my brain works. They struggle a lot of times to understand that. How can someone of your age be that fixated on video games in such a way? And it's very difficult to explain. But the point is, I will think about it. I will try to pass time quicker. I will have alcohol because I know I'll pass out eventually, and then I'll get to the day of the game releasing quicker. So today, yesterday should I say, the company email, they say, we've dispatched your game, 24-hour recorded delivery, whatever. So literally from that second, I was then like, oh yes, today is the day, this is going to be amazing. I stayed up really late because I wanted to be tired. Even when I got to bed, I couldn't sleep because of it. And I wake up today and it doesn't turn up. Now, to your average person, they would probably just be like, oh, well, we'll probably turn up tomorrow. But for someone like me who... And you see, the thing is, if they hadn't emailed to say it was dispatched, I would have just continued on as I have for the rest of the week. And I would expect it tomorrow. If they'd emailed today, for example, and said, we've dispatched it today, you'll get it tomorrow, hopefully get it tomorrow. I wouldn't, but because they've given me the information, I fixate on it, and I almost hold them to it, and I do hold them to it. So when I got up today and it didn't turn up, I was literally at the window, which is just over there, and I was looking out every 5 minutes. Maybe even less, like, where's the postman? Oh, it's supposed to be coming. Now, bear in mind, this was in the afternoon. The post never comes in the afternoon. So I should have just said to myself, it's not coming today. But I find that so difficult to deal with. I got really angry because of it. Really angry and really frustrated. And my medication, which I've been on and has been upped now because it really needed to be, just doesn't break through it. And it's when you'd say this to be, I mean, I probably sound insane just now. Insane. But that's just the way my brain works. And I will never, I'm convinced now more than, I will never get out of that. Nothing a therapist tells me is going to change that. Nothing. Because it's the one thing I have to hold on to. I turned 40 in... Why did I say 40 instead of 40? I turned 40 in November, and I didn't think I was going to get through that. I really didn't. But what did get me through it was, I'd love to say it was the medication and the therapy. It wasn't. It was, well, Resident Evil comes out in February. Well, you're going to do a show in May. Well, this is going to happen in, you're going to do another show in August or whatever it's going to be. And those are the little things that I hold on to. So when a game doesn't turn up to your average person, to probably 99% of the population, it's not a big deal. To me, it's almost like a life or death thing. So I went for a walk to try and clear my mind. I went for it's about 2.5 miles, and then 2.5 miles, but 4 or 5 mile walk. And when I was walking back, there was a girl, I say girl, but she was probably near enough my age, coming towards me, and as I always do, I just politely go when I pass by people if they're looking at me, because it's very rarely do I look at people when I'm out walking. I always look at the ground, because that's just ingrained in me. It's terrifying being out walking about. I really struggle with it, but sometimes I do it because if I'm in here, you know, things get bloody. Let's just put it that way. Please do not misconstrue when I say that. I completely live here alone, so when I say bloody, I don't mean... I'm being maybe dramatic, but at the same time I'm not. But I really don't want to go into all of that. Yeah. Those of you who have watched this know that I self-harm. And have continued to do so, and in fact it's escalated quite a lot. But I'm fine, you know. I mean, I'm okay. I'm still here. A couple of scars here and there. You know, it's no big deal. If it de-stresses me or whatever. So yeah, they smiled at me. I passed by someone and I did my polite little smile thing, and they smiled back. And it really affected me, and it really, really, really affected me. To the point when I walked past them, I just started crying. And it was strange, but I knew what it was, you know, because obviously very lonely, you know, I want to have a partner, and I see couples, and it like a lot of things, it makes me very jealous, and I don't like feeling jealous, but it's something I have quite a lot of, is problems with jealousy. And I've been over this in therapy, and again, there's no real answer to that. You know, there's nothing that, as far as I'm concerned, that's going to fix that other than being not jealous. And the only way to not be jealous is to have what other people have. Be it money, be it a nice place to live, be it a partner, be it to be married, be it to have success. And that's really what it all comes down to. And I'm worried, well, I'm not worried, because it's a very simple truth that I will never be happy until I have what other people have. What it is in my head that I've convinced myself that other people have. You know, I really don't want to live here. I hate it. I have no money. I can't afford to live where I want to live. I have no partner. I do not have the success on my YouTube. I do not have the success from my shows. I spend money which other people would call needlessly. But video games, the channel and the shows are what keep me alive. So if someone said, right, you cannot do these shows anymore, you know, someone tagged me down or whatever, not that anyone would do that, but if my ability to do the shows and to work on the channel and to buy video games was taken away from me, then I would, you know, I don't have to say it, but you can imagine. I don't have any of that yet. And I was supposed to have all of that by the time I was 40. And I found an excuse to keep going. And instead today, all I can think about is the person who smiled at me, how low I'm feeling. And I've taken my medication, by the way. So this is regardless of that. I promise I would never drink again, but behind me is my drink for the day, because after all, if I drink enough, I will feel worse, but I will probably pass out, wake up tomorrow. The game that I was supposed to have today will be here, and then I can feel happy for a few hours. And then start the process all over again. Look forward to something, become very fixated on it, try and pass the time, in the hope that eventually all the dots of my life will all connect. He'll have the partner, he'll have a nice place where he lives. This place is much too small as well, as regardless of the area and the people and how scared I am living here. The shows will have success and I'll be making money. The channel will be a raging success, you know, thousands, hundreds of thousands of subscribers. And I'll have more money than anyone I know. And people are going to watch this and go, well, you're fucking crazy. And maybe I am. And maybe I always will be. And that's terrifying. Because I know I'm not a very patient person. So I gave myself till I was 40. I've come up with a couple of excuses. Thinking this will be my year, and maybe I'll get to the end of this year and say, no, clearly it'll be next year will be my year. But eventually, and I can feel it I feel it every single day, that my patience has a limit, and I have a limit to how long I really, truly want to feel like this. And there's a saying I kind of say to myself every single day, and I do say this every single day. And I think it's a Joker line. Is it from The Killing Joke? In The Killing Joke, I think the Joker says, have you ever had one bad day? So I've kind of taken that and twisted it and said, I am only one bad day away from just giving up entirely. And every so often I will have a bad day. And I'll go for a walk and then I'll think of something. Oh, that game comes out next week. You've got to be around for that. So then I will continue on. So if you want an update, the update is simply this. Every single day is a bad day. But every single day I will think of something. But eventually, and I can feel it, I feel it every single day, and I talk about this every week when I'm doing my therapy, BetterHelp. Not sponsored this video, sadly. Every week I can think of something, and I just hope the day doesn't come that I can't think of anything, because that'll be it. Anyway, I just wanted to share an update. This has probably been incredibly rambling. I'm going to try and edit this down as much as I can. Thank you as always for watching, all 23, 24 of you that are subscribed here. And yeah, I'm going to get back to it. I was watching a movie, in case anyone is worried about that image behind me. Great little movie. Keep on rocking on. Something like that.